Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Build, the show that teaches you everything can go wrong and black boxes will appear on the screen because that's just how Streamlabs works. Let's get rid of them. That should clear them. Hopefully that will show up on my screen and I will know that shortly. We appear to still have one. Oh, good. There we go. Although, wait, maybe? Yes, I think we're good. Hello, everybody. Hello, Ballast Man. Hello, Christopher, Max, Alex. Welcome. Do remember to smash that like button. It is good to have you all here. Maybe you can gently tap the like button. That's okay too. So, before we start tonight, there have been some slight issues with my microphone staying connected to the phone. So if you hear the volume or something change, please do let me know in chat, because chances are the microphone has come unplugged. And whilst you should still be able to hear me through the phone's microphone, it won't be as clear and crisp, and probably not even as loud as it is now. So that would be something good to just let me know so I can correct it. How is everyone this evening? I hope you are all well. I've added some more chat commands, by the way. If you do !commands, that will give you the link to the web page where I am listing all the chat commands, because I really can't be bothered to remember them all, if I'm being honest. The website does not tell you what they do, you'll have to type them in to see what they do. So, with all that out of the way, let us begin playing. Oh, well, hello UK Train Spotting, welcome. Good to see you here. How are you this evening? So yes, let us get back on with the i3, which of course is looking rather sorry for itself at the moment. And that is, of course, an understatement. It's absolutely in pieces. The good news is we have 3 new DCC chips. Very new, only just been tested the other day. So, excellent service once again from CM3 Models, who I buy these chips from. Not sponsored in any way whatsoever. I've just always had good service from them with DCC chips. Needs quite a dinky automobiles and lorries for the O-gauge person getting super excited, hoping to get a complete setup by Christmas for a round 3. That would be excellent, Max. Hydration is very important, and indeed, Alex, woo, new chips. So, that means we can start playing with... What do they taste like? They're very, very nice, Max. They're the best chips you've ever eaten. We can, hopefully, get the electrics done tonight. That is the aim for this stream. Hello again, UK Train Spotting. Welcome again. I hope everyone is well this evening. So we're going to, once again, confirm that we're not shorting out everywhere, because of course that would be a bad thing. So I'm going to leave one prong through there. I'm going to touch this end of the chassis so that, yeah, it's definitely making a connection. That wheel is not. That wheel is not. That wheel... Oh. That wheel is. And that wheel is. Our two motor contacts are not. I'm good, thank you. How are you this evening? I am very well, thank you. Just once again, we'll confirm this is, yep. And I'm going to do it on the pickups. So that's given us all the same results up top and bottom. So that is what we expected. And of course now's a good time to remember that in fact the motor is not screwed down, is it? Because the screw hole got too large last week. Chips here are crisps, basically. Yes, they are indeed, Max. I am familiar with that term. I am very well, thank you, UK Train Spotting. So I am going to find the screw that we need from in here. That there should be everything we need for actually putting the locomotive together properly. Time to hobby while you hobby. Good idea, Christopher. Do you have any isolating washers for around the driving wheels? The driving wheels do not need isolating washers. The centres of the drivers are isolated. It's only the wheel rims, and you're not going to get a washer that only covers behind the wheel rims. So in fact, I've just said, why don't we look at that? I've been saying for the last few weeks that, you know, I've got a proper way of isolating all this, so why don't we go ahead and do that? Because this is a trick I picked up from a friend who is a quote-unquote full-time modeller. Does make his living from building kits for people. I have myself and Steam Gala coming up on my model railway. Oh, very nice. Very nice indeed. So, yes. Let's take the motor off for now and talk tricks. So I'm going to take the wheels out. And I'm going to remove our temporary insulation. Good evening, Killian. Welcome. How are you this evening? And So, as I say, he's a professional modeller. He knows what he's on about, and he taught me a trick he uses with the sort of customer who he knows isn't going to want to pay much. Because, of course, when you do these things long enough, you know who is and isn't going to pay very much money. And I thought it would be an interesting trick to show the stream. And that is that he takes his chassis, or, you know, whatever it is he's insulating. When I was actually asking him for advice about this, it was a loco body I needed to insulate from everything because it was just a very tight fit and was coming down onto the motor pickups. Maybe isolate the pickups, touch brass or shrink tubing, but leave enough for the actual wheel sets. But I'm just getting onto the trick. Oh, if I have taken that bit out, that's the bit on the other side. I can see that's okay. Single ply tissue. As I say, I want to teach you all the tricks that I have been taught. He takes a small piece of it, applies it over the area to be insulated. Actually not going to do where the pickup is with my example piece. I'm going to try and not keep punching the microphone as well. So he puts his single ply tissue on there. And just drowns it with cyano, or super glue. What is the class of 440 called again that will be the next project? The next big project, I say big project so I've not got all the stuff for it yet. I need to get the wheels still, and there are some that are out of stock, is the South Eastern and Chatham D-Class, which will be done in full Wainwright livery. So yes, and he told me the good thing about the cyano trick with the tissue and cyano is that once it is dry, you know, you've still got all the detail there because it's only a single ply bit of tissue. Good evening, Tom. Welcome. How are you this evening? As I say, it's just single ply tissue that he puts on. And he soaks it in cyano. And that acts as his isolation. So I say, this is just a trick he uses for people he knows aren't going to pay much. We should be able to give us a close-up look at the finish when it's dry, please. It sounds a very clever trick. I will indeed, Harry. And I agree. I also think it's a very clever trick, which is why I wanted to bring it to stream to show all of you. Well, hey, Gary Bott is here. I haven't changed any of the things GaryBot says. But as I say, I have added more commands. Okay, it's first free evening I've had in a while to check in on the stream. Fair enough, yes, I did gather from your postings that things have been rather busy of late. As you can see from it popping up in chat a second ago, I've gone all posh and got myself a chat bot. I also have a list of select load of chat commands. I've added more since last week, partially based on feedback from the initial chat commands I did last week. If you want to see what they are, it's !commands into chat. Will give you a link to the web page where there is a list of the commands for you to check out. You'll have to use the commands in chat to discover what they do, though. So hopefully, even though it's not dry yet, you can see that we're not actually losing the detail here, and the tissue does in fact sink down into it. That bit I don't think goes quite far enough. Let's do is hire a Russian bodyguard to shout reminders at us. If I could do accents, now would be the perfect time for one. But I can't, so I won't. I can probably get this bit to go around the bottom of the brake hanger there. Wow, that is a lot of trees I'm putting onto my layout. It is indeed. I saw your video with your trees that had arrived. There was rather a lot of them. It's a very cool trick. Well, it's a very cheap trick, is the point. That's why I wanted to be able to share it with you all. Oh, that's a bit too much. Let's let that run down. It's quick, it's easy, it's cheap. What more could you want? Not sure how the government would appreciate that. Not saying the Russians are all bad. Max, it was a joke. And it was a very commonly made joke that I think we can let slide. Now, where do I want to put this to get it out the way? That is the question. Plus, you know, if the Russian government want to come knocking because of jokes, I mean, you know, then they come knocking. That's their call. Didn't know about that. That's okay. It's a relatively common joke about Russian bodyguards and the Russians in general when it comes to technology. I don't know why this has decided to be so good at keeping the lid on. Bang, 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 FSB, open up. Very good. Very good. There is a joke I could make in return to that, which I'm not going to, because I think that would be crossing the line a bit when on the politics front. Thankfully, the FSB have not knocked at the door just yet. So, what is everyone up to this evening? Do we have any projects ongoing? There we go, that is that wheel done and waiting to dry. So hopefully you can see that all the detail is still there. Planting trees, yes. Fair enough. You have enough trees to plant. I'm going to use these ones to move this bit of tissue around because my other ones I was going to use appear to still have some wet improved engine green paint on them. I don't know where that could have come from. Messing about in trains, haven't had time to do it much this weekend, fair enough. Oh yeah, Mr. Tyson, I made the Inglenook in trains, tested it. Took almost an hour to complete the shunts. Brilliant. Making a Terrier chassis in CAD, no telling what for though. Oh. Interesting, Tom. Not me today, all building sessions have been moved from my understanding. Yes, you did mention. That's a very interesting one, Tom. Are there not enough types of Terrier chassis out there already? Well, it's the Terrier chassis I need per se. It's more that I need to know how it fits with other things. Ah, fair enough. Maybe the 240 version. I've got one of them, Max. I do have a 240 Terrier. It's hard to keep a secret. Nah, it's not hard to keep secrets. Even when people are questioning you. Because of course, if people question too much, I can ask the mods to prevent them from questioning further. Hammer stands ready, sir. Talking of the mods, they both have their own customised commands in chat now. I know one of them knows about it. I don't know if the other one does though. But they both have their own commands in chat. Hi Gary, Chris, a decal sheet and number plate. Thought I'd better have a look and see what you were doing. Interesting. Hello Ian, indeed. The transfer sheet is for this. In fact, I've put it just over to the side. Let's have a look at your transfer sheet since you're here. The number plate I've requested though is coming up in a future video. I'll send you a picture of that logo. Oh, hello Garybot, welcome. Yes, this is the underlining Terrier transfer sheet done by Ian. Hello Natasha Fishenden. Welcome. How are you this evening? So yes, it comes with all the useful bits of lining, numbers, lettering styles, every little bit you could need, and that's available from Ian. Could one of the mods put a link to the EB Models website in the chat for me, please? mjwsjw.co.uk. Because I do like supporting Ian. He has certainly supported the stream in the past, and it is very much appreciated. And I don't think I have a bit of paper with the website on to hand. Excellent, thank you very much, Alex. So there is the link to Ian's website. Very useful stuff for Brighton modelers. Yeah, that's dry enough to let that sit free now. Crikey, you know the website address better than I do. I was actually on your website earlier today, Ian. I was recommending you to someone on RM Web who is looking for some parts for backdating their Brighton Atlantic. So hopefully at some point you'll get an email from them, because I did also give them your email address. Speaking of which, that's something I'm going to need in the near future as well, but we shall discuss that closer to the time. Is that the backdating my number 39 to the condition I want requires it to have Stroudley number plates. Which I did not realise it still had in 1912. So I will at some point need to get Stroudley number plates off that from you, but that project can wait a little bit. And obviously your transfers will be going on that as well, to change the lettering on the tender and the crests on the splashers. Hello again, had to take a phone call. Welcome back, Max. Oh yes, Stoats Nest, that was the person, that was what that person was after as well, had the number plates and LBSCR on the tender. Yes, that is indeed the person. I was on RM Web earlier. From that, I assume you've already heard from them. That is good. It is very good indeed. I hope you are feeling better, by the way. Since you are here, I assume you can't be too bad at the moment. Well, Stoats Nest, one of the best names ever given to a loco. I've just bought a body from Fleabay and I'm going to change mine as well. Excellent. It'll be good to see so many backdated ones about, rather than the standard Bachmann model. I am also going to insulate this side of the motor. As I said, using this trick I was taught by a friend from club. Got over the flu now, so yes, well, thanks. Excellent, glad to hear it, Ian. Very glad to hear it. I'm maybe going to respray an H2 as well. Yes, I intend on respraying my H2 into photographic grey, actually. Maybe you do it one stream, looking to backdate mine as well when I get a chance. My H1 will indeed be done on stream at some point, Harry. But as I haven't officially ordered the parts that I need, or the number plate I need for it from Ian yet, because, you know, I can only order so many things a month. And this month it shall be the wheels for the D-Class. Will be the main purchase. But yes, as for the number plate I had off you the other day, Ian, I'm... Good evening, Code Monkey. Welcome. I hope you are well this evening. Yes, I have used the number plate. It looks absolutely fantastic. It's just not ready to be shown on the YouTubes yet. So I will take a picture. In fact, I've got a picture of it I've already taken. I will email it over to you either when the stream finishes or in the morning, depending on how I'm feeling at the end of stream. But yes, that is all feeling nice and dry now. So if we take a close-up now, you can see all the detail is actually still there. And the bits of overhang have all gone. Nice and solid to be snipped off. Also working on drawing up the bogey brake for the Photon, unless anyone else has this already. I have not seen anyone else having done that. That would be excellent. I had been considering ways of making one of them, so if that's something you are making available in the future, I will hold off on that project until that is ready. Because that would make life a lot easier. Doing fine, you're making good progress here. Yes, we're putting on some more permanent insulation, which at the moment I'm just cutting away all the excess, having stuck it on. The insulation is made of single ply tissue, of all things. For British Railways, both the early and late periods, 49 to 64, the early diesel period is fab. Terriers in improved engine green are very lovely though. Before the best years of the railways were before 1923 Max, or the latest theme age. Definitely got to be before 23 for the best years of the railways. Right then, I'll do a bit of drawing soon, try to finish Slaughter Goods and early Pullman, getting ready for Bright Circle AGM, and then hopefully ready for Santa to deliver. Oh, fantastic. I want a full rake of early Pullmans. I take it that's the American cars you're working on. Because yes, I'd like a full rake of those. I'm actually going to see if I can get a babysitter and attend the Circle AGM this year, Ian. Be a first. American Open platform at the moment, brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Narrow vestibulator and other types. Looking forward to see you there. Well, it still depends on getting a babysitter, but it will be good. It would be good to make it. So I've not actually been able to make it so far because of babysitters and such forth. I usually have to save my babysitter vouchers for that time of year. So I'm guessing you have no diesels. I hope to at least have a class 11 from the LMS. I will not confirm nor deny reports of diesel ownership within Oak Hill Towers. How's that? Does that answer cover me? A pink, you know, I know of. I will not confirm or deny any rumours of diesels within Oak Hill Towers. My layout has now consumed 70 more trees and I need a blooming heck. Didn't think you'd get them all on that quickly. But yes, you do need more. I told you it needs to look like a complete forest. I don't even want to be able to see the railway. Oh, thank you, Gary Bot. Good reminder. Hydration is important. So everyone, hydration break enforced by Gary Bot 3.0. Sure you don't want Tiny Hunslet 4WDM, maybe have some available soon. I do, Tom, actually. I kind of do. But you didn't hear that from me. It's no good, I've got to use the ones with the sticky tips. You actually can't see some parts from other parts. That's brilliant, Christopher. That's what I like to hear. It's Mortis license, hide anything with vegetation. Yes. Guessing your diesels are quote unquote top secret government property for the community of Oak Hill. They may well be, yes. Some of them have appeared publicly before. That one can pop out, can't it? It's only the other one that has to stay. I can see what I'm doing better now. Diesels are filthy and wrong. Hides his few diesel models. We all know you like them, Alex. That's why you play that horrible game that doesn't know what Steam is. I have two diesels, an SW9 and an SD7. I'm going to pretend those letter and number combinations mean something. Now, the last thing we need to do for this bit of insulation is just a little bit inside so that the pickups aren't catching on it. Doesn't know what Steam is yet. Give them another 10 years and we might be okay. Petrol shunters, however, are fine. Petrol overhead inspection units and the overhead electrics to go with them, they're fine. And that's why we can't use that. There we go, got those pickups well out of the way now. Come back, because now I've knocked the pickup back where it was. And I've knocked this one back and it's got stuck. Oh no! Hope we don't bend them too much doing this. Right, so once we have that has dried, that will be, in theory, this side of the chassis permanently insulated. No more insulating tape needed. So everything should look a little bit better. Whilst we wait, obviously we can cut down the excess of the tissue stuck to the motor. Hydration is important, everyone. Even if the bot isn't telling us, it's still important. Right, these bits are dry now. See, with super glue they will get stronger over the next 24 hours or so, but they are dry enough to cut away and use. So that is what we'll do. Thank you, Alex. Much appreciated. I'm glad someone's paying attention to the commands. I wouldn't mind building a model Valley, Ruston, Hornsby, Ophir Road, Chelmsford from scratch based on one lorry owned from Lorry's mechanical marvel. Certainly a cute locomotive. Yes. Well, I haven't set up a chat command for that, but I really should. Get on with it. It's a saying I'm known for. You got it the wrong way round. It's Mod Christopher. Using the Bachman Gandhi Dancer chassis. Ah, yes, that's a good idea. There we go. And mod Alex. Yeah, there we go. And there are the mods custom chat commands that I built for them. Because, you know, I thought since they're here doing my moderation for me and keeping an eye on chat, it would be nice to give them a little bit of promotion in return. Please no one follow that second link. Not only should you follow that second link, but when you get there you should click the follow button to see when our Tang moderator goes live. I wasn't going to put that command in. Why not? I made it specially for you. Now, I spent time and effort making that command, Alex, and you weren't going to put it in? Another good news. I completely careful similar how the petrol from 20s, which I'm very much looking forward to test built in. It'll be great when it does. Something turns wheel, I'm happy. Another good news, the secure agenda is being steam diesel only line, electric logo, pantograms, graphs up, can go round clearing all the trees. Brilliant! Spending thanks, Mr. Host. That's okay. I refuse to promote my channel in someone else's stream. Why? You're here doing the mod work for me. You know, I've put that there. It's not you promoting the channel. It's me promoting it. I think you need to block GaryBot 3.0. I don't think you can block GaryBot 3.0. Because I've given GaryBot 3.0 moderator rights. It's me if I put the command in. I put the command there so that it could go in to promote you. Hydration is important, and I'm nearly out, so I'd best refill. And once I've done that, we will do a connectivity test. I can do it though. Yes, you can, Christopher. There's plenty of other new commands you can put in. Every time I do a hydration break, you could spam the hydration command. There's a couple of commands I put in just for James Pets as well, but obviously he's not here tonight to try them out. Please don't, Chris. But Alex, promotion of your channel is important and is my way. Is this the part where something goes pop? No, not just yet. This is the part where we test it with the multimeter. Is that an insult to your modelling prowess? Not at all. We have made things go pop. Right now. Right, I'm done with trains for now. Trying to get invisible track to sit at the height I want. Water is making me angry. Fair enough. Promotion for Alex the Mole. Fantastic. Exactly, Max. All you have to do to promote Alex the Mole is type into chat, !mod Alex. You put that in and you get to promote Alex the Mole. Anyone can do it. There is no short there. There is no short there. There is a short there. That's what we wanted. No. There is no short there. There is no short there. There is there. There is there. Try holding shift or control while moving for different... Yeah, yeah, that. Shift and control whilst moving things up and down, Alex. No, it doesn't work if you do it at the end of a message. That's better, Christopher. That's better. Didn't work at the end of a sentence. No, I don't know if it works at the beginning of a sentence either. There's only one way to find out, Christopher. So we need to test that to see if it works at the beginning of a sentence. Definitely not having fun winding Mr. Alex up here. I really wish you hadn't done that command. Why though? I'm trying to get you more viewers, more promotion. You're a good streamer and you deserve it. You come here, you do my moderation for me. And a bit of promotion is my way of thanking you. Oh, it does work. Brilliant. Thank you for testing that, Christopher. Much appreciated. Now we know. Yeah, seems like the winding me up is becoming something of a sport these days. Alex, for me, winding anyone up is a sport. It's not just you, don't worry. Oh, I've got that sitting up there again, that's a bad thing. I have a plastic sign with a terrier on it. It's a wonderful little sign. I keep putting it out the way on top of the light that's just up there. I really need to start remembering to take it off more often, because I can't see plastic sign sitting on top of light bulb being a good idea. We do indeed. Hello, Natasha Fishenden again. How are you this evening? Gracing my stream with your presence. So it isn't you just you though, is it, Gary? Well, no, but I do it to everyone. I don't just do it to you. Yeah, that was the one I nearly got you. Well, I've already got one. And my one was free, so it wasn't too many pennies. Harrison woke up, so fair enough. Fair enough. How is the little munchkin? He should definitely be asleep at this time though, Natasha, just saying. £30, you can get them on eBay for £6, Chris. Right. Let's strip some cables. And do some soldering. Leo Kim video is a nice tutorial for converting repairs and take along Thomas to use Gandhi Dance chassis. Looks like really fun entertainment. Awesome. I don't understand the intro though. Please keep the... Did someone not? What, was I not PG? Oh no, it was Natasha. Okay. We're a PG stream, Natasha. I thought I told you this. Whatever your message was, I missed it. I wonder if I can call it back. Oh, I can here. Oh, yes. Don't say that, Natasha. That's naughty. PG stream. Slept since then. Yeah, fair enough. It has been a while, hasn't it? Right then, we are ready for some soldering again once the iron heats up. And get the new DCC chip in, after which we can actually test the thing again. Whilst we wait for it to heat up, hydration is still important. There we go, we're nearly at temperature. Well, that's too hot actually, I want to turn that down. Just applied for schools. Oh, good fun that is. I've got to apply for secondary school for the boy this year. That seems very weird. Thank you, Christopher. It only feels right that someone should put that command in every time I do the hydration is important. That is actually why I made that a command. Soldering is nobody's favourite code monkey. There we go. Need to move that now. I don't feel I've promoted the show enough. Forever drinking eating ice, wakes up and eats some drinks all day. Bless him. It's a lovely little boy. Right, so now we want to connect the actual parts. I don't want... How did you get... Oh, you're tangled up there. Right. There we go, they're out the way now. Not changed, has he? No, he has not. Anyone familiar with Bill and Ted? First season and I watched and it was great. From what I heard, second season is bogus. Haven't bothered to search on YouTube. prefer George Carlin as Rufus. Bill and Ted should just be the films, really, let's be honest. Good night, folks. For some reason, I've told work I'll be early in tomorrow. Good night, Tom, you insane person. You should never tell your work you'll be in early. Assume you mean the animated series rather than the films. Well, that's what I was assuming there, Alex, and let's be honest. They're just not as good, are they? So, yes, back to this. We want the red and the black. To come down through here. And under the brake gear, which is proving nice and easy to do. Exactly, really should just be the films, yes. The black one's kind of gone where I wanted it to. How do you do, Yari? What I miss? Welcome. Welcome. It is good to see you back with us again. We have just been doing some permanent insulation on the chassis. And we are about to hook up a new DCC chip. After discovering the other one had blown last week. So you have not missed much. No shorts, I hope. Well, so far, no. Everything's good. After the unfortunate loss of the last one, rest in pieces. Indeed, the unfortunate loss of the last one, which I think is actually still on the workbench somewhere. It's quite possible it's hanging around up here. Certainly was earlier today, but I've used the workbench since then, so it could be anywhere now. Thank you, Gary Bot. It's very nice of you to tell people that, you know, get people to donate. What was it? Oh, that's for the Patreon one. But Gary Bot is right, it is expensive. Going to have a sip of my Gatorade. Hydration is important. Remember, kids, hydration is important. Thank you for jumping in with that one, Alex. Much appreciated. So you don't have to hate all the commands I set up. For those who want to see what the other commands available are, it is !commands in the chat to get you the link to show you what commands there are. It may also be in the description. I can't remember whether I added it, so... That's it. Thank you, Alex. So if anyone wants to know what the commands are, that's where you find them. It is just a... Yep, those are both commands. Thanks for working that one out, Christopher. Much appreciated. Right, we've knocked those pickups way off doing that. And that was a face full of fumes. That was not what I'd call nice in any way, shape or form. That page is down, Mr. Host. It shouldn't be. It's open just fine for me. I'll do it again this way. Yeah, it's open just fine for me. And I mean, if my internet can open it, then anyone should be able to. Mr. Full Stop in front of the UK. Link in the description. Ah! So the link in the description doesn't work. So it doesn't. I see that in the description. That's okay. You need a Darth Vader stream where you can wear a face mask for this. There comes my other one. The thing is, I have a face mask. Oh, Ian, thank you very much. That is very much appreciated. Excellent, thank you. But yeah, the real problem with the solder fumes is getting in my eyes. Blinds me for a second. That is very much appreciated, Ian. I think I've actually shifted where this one is on the board. Let's try folding this out a bit more. I'm going to have to take the wheel off to sort this one. I Indeed I do. Some money for the next number plate. I don't know why it announces the donations in dollars. I did tell Streamlabs that I wanted it in pounds. It's very much appreciated. I was actually going to say, ironically, that money will probably come back to you. So quiet, why'd your mic have gone awry then? It seems to still be plugged in. I take it it's back to normal now. If I haven't dug out my Romford screwdriver by the time I order the wheels for the D, I think I'm going to order another one. Yes, you just weren't speaking for a while. That happens all the time, Alex. There's nothing new there. It's one of the reasons I suggested background music. Some nice soft jazz. I stripped the wrong cable. That was silly of me. I was meant to strip the grey. It does anyway. I'm off to bed. I have to get up early in the morning. Look and see if it was a success. Cheers. Alright, thank you for coming, Ian. It has been great to see you here once again. As I say, I shall email you some pictures either when I finish streaming or in the morning. To show what has happened with that number plate you sent. Background music is distracting. Yes, I know, that's why we don't have any. God, you can even see the fumes on stream. That's how bad they are. Snips. I don't think these snips will actually get this bit I want to snip. Oh well, it snapped off. That'll do. Because of course what we don't want now is to short that out there. This would be great. Cheers. Not a problem, Ian. I will send them over. Remember, everyone smash like that. I'm feeling good about this one, I hope. I am Matt, plus copyright is a thing. I assume you're talking about the background music there, Max, in which case I'm well aware copyright is a thing. The only music I would use for background music would of course be Creative Commons licensed free to use music out of the YouTube music library. Don't forget they also added a bell you need to smash. Yes, yes they did. Make sure you hit subscribe and smash that notification bell. Because YouTube want all your attention, and so do I. Feeling good about this. Yes, yes I am. We're about to get the multimeter back out and make sure we cannot find any shorts. So I don't know how well you can see that. A huge amount of copyright-free music. Shame 80% of it sounds awful. Ah, legal note: nothing is copyright-free unless it has been made public domain. Free to use and copyright-free are not the same thing. So yes, I think we've got somewhere now. You can actually see. So if this number changes, we have a short like this. There's a short. That one was on purpose. What we want now is to touch both these wheels and it to stay the same, so we have no short. There is no short. There is no short. If we touch on there, I do believe there is not a short. Yeah, well, they call it copyright free. That's yes, but they're wrong. And we want to have no short here either. Now we do get shorts on these wheels, but we're genuinely not too worried about those, because it is only those wheels. As long as nothing else is shorting out, those wheels can short out all they want. Because nothing else is touching them, it's still a closed circuit. So I'm going to put in the screw that doesn't really do much anymore. Does that mean to have a continuity test bleeper? It does not have a bleeper on it. It just has that. Still trying to figure out the song Humbrol use in their past videos. It's a really soft, light, jazzy song. There's a lot of quite good background, soft, jazzy stuff in the YouTube library, and that was what I intended on using if we were having background music. Remember kids, hydration is important, says GaryBot 3.0. Hydration is important, so make sure you are staying hydrated, everyone. I am going to sit that there. I'm going to get the controller ready and apply power. I've got stuff sat on the track I've just sorted it out on, because of course we are also powering the layout when I do that. Remember to be kind to N-scalers, kids. I would if I could see their trains. It's alive! It's alive, it lives. Okay, the motor wasn't physically turning, but it's alive, there was no short circuit. That's just a case of we haven't seated the motor properly. We have fixed the short circuits, we have got a working chip. That feels fine, like it's shorted fine to me. If we still have a short, I'm baffled. We do not have a short. Perhaps I just wasn't applying enough power to get it turning there. Can we lift those wheels and still keep it going? Tonight we ride. Indeed. Indeed we do. No, it's not picking up off just the two, I don't think. Okay. Yeah. It's alive. I mean, we have also got the issue here that I've probably scuffed up everything rather badly, and the motor's not fully attached because, you know. But it is alive. We have a working system. We're just going to do this just to test whether it is the motor seating that is causing it to not spin. That would be a yes, it is. So I'm going to sort that. And then we shall move the camera and have a watch as it actually moves. Because, as I say, that it buzzes, but the wheels are not turning. And that is just an issue with how the motor is seated. Buzz is a good thing, a fried smell is not, on terms of motors, not food. Indeed. That is a working chassis. That is the motor coming out of its seating. Because of the screw being the hole for the screw being knackered. And that is, of course, going to be replaced by something like this, where it's a nut and bolt. And that will solve that problem. That's not happening tonight because I don't have one spare. I thought I did, but I don't. In fact, let's have another look in this box, because I was sure I had one. Nope, I do not. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen, we have a working locomotive. I bet some of you thought it wasn't going to happen. And I can't say I blame you for thinking that. So the next thing we need to do, I really want to cut these off, but then I might decide to use them in the future. Next thing we need to do is work out where this DCC chip is going to live inside this body. I had complete confidence as always. Well, thank you, Alex. Your complete confidence is very much appreciated, and in this case, fully justified. That's about the right angle, isn't it? Yeah. And there goes the screw for the motor. Again, making my point that it is knackered. I really thought I had one. The guy who suggested that needs a shout out. That was always the plan for permanent insulation. But, you know, it wasn't a case of the insulation not working. It was a case of finding where... Coal bunker. I want to try and keep it in this section if I can. I'll probably find it as soon as the stream is over. It's very likely, isn't it? I mean, the thing is, I have another screw here that is... That'll hold it in for now. If I could get it screwed in with this blooming screwdriver, it keeps getting stuck to the magnet. I mean, that it's not going to fall out completely now, so it's not going to fall off and break. That'll do for now. You always get screws from DIY shop for cheap. Indeed I can. So I thought I had one, otherwise I would have got one. So you can see there we have absolutely loads of space either side of the chassis. It would be very easy to get a sticky pad, put it against one side, and put the DCC chip in like that. When I say a sticky pad, I mean the sort of thing that Bachmann and Hornby actually supply with their locos for fitting chips anyway. Well, in fact, no, they come with the chips, don't they? Not with the locos. So chip manufacturers, which I suppose does include Bachmann. But of course, we've got all this rather large amount of excess cable to deal with, so they might need cutting down at the very least. But you can see there is the loco with its chassis. That powerful magnet though, exactly. That powerful magnet. There is the loco fitted with its chassis, with the DCC chip fitted properly inside it. Not just poked through into the cab like we did before. And it really is that simple. Because if it's going to be mounted to the body, we want the cables to stay long, but we also want them to stay out of the way. Room for weights if you ever need, or if you fancy a larger motor, one that could power the Titanic. One of these could power the Titanic. That's why I use these. And as for weight, this thing is blooming heavy. Being a white metal body. That will of course help with the whole pickup problem we were having a minute ago. So, that screw go. Now I'm confused. Because here, I still have that screw that I thought was the screw for here. And 2 bolts. But I need both these bolts because one holds the chassis onto the body, the other holds the bogie onto the chassis. That motor could probably power the Titanic, a 1700 model of it. No, this motor could power the whole Titanic. Probably would have been better, all the icebergs would have melted before it got there. The amount of short circuits I've had, it certainly would have done. And if it was hollow and made of polystyrene. I think you lot underestimate these motors. You really do. Remember, these motors are good British technology from when Britain was good at that sort of thing. I had a model of Titanic when I was a kid. It's fun building it too. Wow, I had no idea those tiny motors output 46,000 horsepower. Well, now you do. I mean, I had no idea how much horsepower it was required to move the Titanic, but there we go. We've both learnt something. These motors come out of Spitfires. Of course they can power the Titanic. They stopped the German war machine in its tracks. Now, whilst that looks all nice and good and stuff, I've just thought these wheels aren't going to... Oh, maybe they will just clear it. They helped win the war. Indeed they did. We should check for short circuits again. The XO type. Yep. Yep. It was that little motor, not the Rolls-Royce Merlin. Not at all, Alex. Why would it... I don't see why the Rolls-Royce Merlin would have had anything to do with it. It was these motors. The Rolls-Royce engine was just there for the sound. You know, propellers go round and round and round and round, just like these motors do. So it's just one of them motors with the propeller on the front. Oh look, my phone wants me to turn it off because it's been on for too long. No phone. I will not turn you off. I will, however, get caught on the guard iron and put... Oh. It's too high. Alex, in return for not typing your chat command, to give me a quick opinion on something on Twitter. You're going to ask Alex to go on Twitter? On a Sunday? I've done that before as well. Oh god, do we have more shorts again? We haven't tested for more shorts yet. We're testing to make sure we don't. And we don't. We are good. After killing a DCC chip, I want to be very thorough about this. Twitter on a Sunday. Exactly. In fact, like, I'm going to kill power to the track whilst I put it down. That's supposed to kill power to the track, not leave it on. Thanks a lot. Button to kill power to the track. That's smoke. It does not smell, but that was smoke. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. No, that wheel was stopping it turning. I was right in what I thought. So we cannot test it as an altogether loco at the moment. DCC is 15 volt AC, right? 16 volt. Did everyone have a good Friday the 13th? Full moon too? I did. Apparently my kids had never heard of Friday the 13th being a superstitious day before. My daughter came back from school very confused about it all. Everyone's being really weird at school, saying it's Friday the 13th and we're all gonna die, was her exact words. Chimney exhaust. Oak Hill doesn't like diesel. Me sees Class 08 on the table. I don't believe I'm in control of what's actually put on the flyer, unfortunately. That is what's going on there. Is this year it was decided to put Class 08 on the flyer. It is a one-man decision. Thank you for noticing the flyer, though. Do we have a motor that we can salvage? Yeah, it's not giving off any smells, so I think it's all right. The crank pins come out too far, got caught on there, stopped the motor from turning. I think it's okay. These motors are pretty resilient. I'm going to pretend I didn't just hear a really loud popping noise there. because that's my favourite thing to pretend. In fact, this has loosened right up, the wheel's spinning freely, so I best tighten that as well. Uckfield show, cake, yes, cake. For those who have seen my video that went out on Thursday about the Uckfield show, the website has now been updated with full details of all the layouts. So if you check the link that GaryBot 3.0 has just posted, after being forced to by someone else, then you can get details for all the layouts that I'd forgotten the details for. Tweet on a Sunday, I feel dirty. Don't get electrical problems, Steam, get a whole other bundle of problems. Indeed you do. True that, rip motor. No, we're not pronouncing the motor dead yet. We're going to be hopeful. We're an optimistic stream. Yeah, it's fine. Put a dab of super glue on the axles. I don't want to put a dab of super glue on the axles. I want to be able to keep taking them off until everything's painted. Turn you back on. See, the motor is fine. They're resilient little things. This is why I use the Triang motors. Once there's some more weight pressing down on here, I think that'll be fine. Yeah, see, it's not picking up properly because there's not enough weight on it. That's all it is. Max, stop retracting messages. Yeah, there's no need to retract messages, Max. I don't think retracted ones disappear off my app that I'm watching the stream on. No. The Spitfire motor lives. Indeed it does. That was it was indeed, Christopher. That was his domain. Oh look, we'll come back over here to this nice flyer. Isn't this a really nice flyer? It's great. Everyone should go to this show that I have absolutely nothing to do with whatsoever on the 19th and 20th of October 2019. I know you should have put structural steel to hold the motor down. Well, this is blooming heavy. So, once that's on it, it'll be fine. Oh look, a link's appeared again, all on its own. Yeah, fantastic show. Visit the link on screen, or go back and watch my video from Thursday where I told you everything that was going to come out, and I did it before the website because the website only got updated yesterday. Hydration is important. Not sure I want to anymore, it's being over promoted. I'll go in both days. Very good, Christopher. There's no such thing as over-promoted, Alex the Mole. Never, ever, ever has there been such a thing as over-promoted. We don't understand over-promoted here. You were asking for that one. That was your own fault. So what's the time? It is 11 o'clock. Excellent. I think you should rename this Success with the Motor or something. I do not rename my streams after the event. However, the name of the review video may be something along the lines of It's Alive. No, I didn't do it. No, you didn't. I don't know, those adverts for Coca-Cola are pretty persuasive and annoying. It's not Coca-Cola, it's generic black fizzy sugar-free drink with a red label. Wish I could go, airline tickets are a problem. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, I can't blame people for not coming from abroad to the show. Although one of the layouts is coming from abroad. So, there's that. Right, so it's the final hour of the stream just beginning. Gary Bot will at some point pop up to give us whatever random message is set up for this time. I can't remember what the last one was, so I won't remember what the next one is. So the question is... Actually, no, there's no question. I know what we're going to do. We're going to work on some of the issues on this, such as the coal rails here. Oh, that was a quick fix. I thought they were going to need resoldering. They were just a bit squished. We're going to resolder this though. That's been loose for weeks. No. Nancy's in Strasbourg. No, not model in Strasbourg. I'd love to though. No, we're going to show. No, that's going to show the meet up in May. There we go. So we're going to turn the soldering iron down all the way to its lowest setting. Those poor coal rails. Yeah, they're all right now. I thought they weren't soldered in properly. So we're just waiting for the iron to cool down a bit. And we're going to solder this back in. This is all the white metal solder I have left. So I'm going to have to get some more of that before our next project. It's the little things, they all add up, you know. It's expensive running a stream. As well, no, I'd love to though. Oh, you see, Max, Christopher is flying over to the US for the Strasbourg show and meet up. Which sounds like it's going to be a huge amount of fun. The iron has nearly cooled down enough. We're at 222 degrees now. We're going for 200. So it's getting there. It's quite good at cooling down. Cool down, you mean heat up? No, I don't. It was at 400 degrees. It is now at 200 degrees. We're going to stick a bit more flux on there. With my pin, which I have back, for those that did notice it was gone last week, it is back. It had misplaced itself. I take no responsibility. There we go. That should now stop falling off. Welcome back, pin. How have you been? Trust me, where I found it, it's not been having a good time. Poor thing. I found it in the seat of my gaming chair. Right at the back. I don't know how it had got there, but it had. And now the next thing this loco needs, that I'm finally feeling a bit more happy to get on with, is some filler. Poor pin, I hope it's not too traumatised. Yeah, so do I. But it's good to have it back. My trusty pin, it gets used so much. I mean, last week I had unravelled a paper clip and put it in its place in case I needed it. So yes, the loco body needs some filler applying. Which, for those that don't know, I use the Revell Plasto. Which is a 2-part, but it's in a single tube. So, single tube, but there are 2 parts there. One is clear, one is not. And it absolutely stinks. And I usually use an old knife blade to apply it, but I appear to have chucked the box of old knife blades away. That was silly of me. And I must have really chucked it away because it's not even in my temporary bin that I put down next to the workbench. Oh well, screwdriver it is. As I said before, it's important you don't need to worry about getting too much of this on, because you know you can file it back down. So what you want to do is make sure you really fill all the joins. You can also use your finger like that. But I much prefer using a tool to do it if possible. What's date of the show? Oh, is it sold out? I hope not to the show event as far as I know, 16th May 2020. Like my teeth, the logo body needs filler. Get your teeth filled then, Alex. If they stay at only needing filler, you're doing well. Trust me. There you go. I want to write that. NW 475 again, it needs to be arranged first open. I'm just kidding, my teeth are fine. Crooked but fine. Oh well, lucky you. One of my teeth isn't even my teeth. Big gap on this side. It has always bothered me. Yeah, shudders at memories of 2016. Indeed. I wasn't going to say anything about that. I was just going to mention mine. After the fun of having wisdom teeth out a couple of years back, I'm glad I don't need any more major work. Yes, I can imagine. My wisdom teeth are still in place. Some of my other permanent teeth, on the other hand. i3 is looking lovely. Thank you, Max. It'll be lovelier once it's not full of holes. Smash like for the i3. Smash the subscribe for the i3 if you're not already. And whilst you're smashing subscribe, hit the notification bell to be alerted of when I go live or when I upload a video. Currently uploading 2 videos a week. Use Squadron Putty. No, I like this stuff. If anyone else wants to use Squadron Putty, they can, but I like this stuff. I have always used the Humbrol, and I get on really well with it, so I see no reason to look at other brands. I mean, it is now starting to become a bit harder to use because it's drying out. But that's sort of what we want it to do. It would be easier if I had my knife blade that I normally use for it. But the knife blade that is in the knife at the moment is a relatively new one, and I don't want to mess it up. Never mind, don't use. Max, are you retracting your messages again? There's no need for retraction of messages. And I will admit, I'm with Alex on this. I do find retracted messages that have been retracted for no reason to be rather irritating, as they can affect the flow of the conversation. If there is a good reason to retract, then yes, fair enough. Don't use epoxy, comes off after 30 years. I'm sure not all epoxies come off after 30 years, but I'm not gluing it, I'm filling it. I would use epoxy if I was gluing the kit, but I'm not. And Garybot wants us to take a drink again. So we shall do that. Hydration is indeed important. Well, even when fresh, milliput is firmer than that. Only 7 weeks until All Hallows Eve, is it indeed? I have been invited to do stuff that day. And that evening, in fact. So I might just not be in. I mean, I will be in, because I won't do the things in the evening, because the kids will be in bed. But you know, hopefully people have stopped knocking by then. There's a little bit more needed round here. So I prefer to have all my models plastic. They'll last longer, especially after using plastic cement. Selection is not as good. Or plastic. Be in my bedroom making no noise and pretending I don't exist. Good idea, Killian. Oh, I don't get why you think plastic models will last longer than metal ones. Max, because, you know, say this is a nice soldered kit. This is going to last longer than any glue that you put on. And I know of 50-year-old epoxied kits that are still going. We are going to a Witchmark Walker house from 1620. Nothing silly, is looking at the keep which outmarks that people made back in those days. Awesome! That sounds good, Alex. 1880s dribble and brass. I'd say it's lasted pretty well. That sounds like it's lasted very well to me, Killian. And I kind of want to see it. I am aware of the model you mean. The question is, does it still work? Because that would be impressive. I believe that is all the filler we need. Certainly looks so. Well, the Triang models and Rovex has lasted 50, 60, 70 years. Well, yes, but they're injection moulded plastic. They're not glued together, they're injection moulded and riveted. Needing rebuilding, but it will work. Excellent, Killian. Excellent indeed. The bottom of this door needs cutting out. You can see it is already a gap on this side, but on this side it was solid. So just poking the knife through has given us that gap there. Woo, valve gear next. Inside cylinder. All this has on that front is the con rods, which are somewhere in here. There's one. And there's the other. Isn't it ironic that models decades old are fine, but recent Hornby models that use Mazak are falling apart en masse? Yes, especially when you consider the Triang chassis were also Mazak. They were just a better mix of Mazak. Handmade, greater than injection moulded, more love involved. Exactly, very well said. We had so many knackered Hornby models in the shop that were not even more than 4 years old. Kits I'm thinking of are ancient, still look fab after 60 years. Yes, I know kits of that age made of metal that look incredible. Just because something's made of metal doesn't mean it's going to fall apart. You know, this is a solid lump of metal. I'm genuinely putting a lot of pressure on that. Hoping you can see it's actually bending slightly as I pull out. It's not going to just fall apart even 30 years down the line. Something being made of plastic does not make it superior over something made of metal. Oh no. It's not going on. Now I know I tested these when I made them. bomb resistant in grade. Yep, I remember one day holding the chassis from New Condition Royal Scot and being able to break it apart using almost no force. It was shocking. That is rather shocking. Better than the Rivarossi models. There we go, fits now. There you go, that's as far as this goes for valve gear. Not having a whole lot of luck typing. Old Rivarossi seems pretty good to me. My old HO Royal Scot from them is one of the finest models I've ever seen. That is good to hear. Even if it is the wrong scale. Definitely need to find that screwdriver because all these wheels have come off again. The zinc rot is a problem, Alex. It is indeed. The zinc rot is a terrible problem that should have never happened. What is the time? It is 11:25. We are about as far as we can go on the i3 for tonight. Good news though, I have this sitting here. Oh well, mine doesn't seem to suffer from it. That's good. SMT mainline worked on Rivarossi Berkshire, the weight was crumbling. Terrible. Guess we all have different experience of different things. Indeed we do. But you cannot blame Mazak rot as a reason for metal models to be no good. Because this here has 0 Mazak in it. So I don't think we can blame this will suffer from any Mazak related issues. But yes, so we have the carriage again, which I have decided on a livery for, and it's going to go into one of those liveries that didn't last very long on those carriages, that being the later umber and cream livery. They did not last long at all. I don't think you can prevent zinc rot. Well, you can, because this doesn't have zinc in it, so it's not going to suffer from zinc rot. That's how you prevent it, is by using a metal that doesn't contain zinc rot. Zinc. The Mazak isn't always even bad. Mammoth used it for years and they rarely had issues. Indeed, Triang used it without any issues. It was just some bad batches in modern stuff. Rivarossi Scott puts anything that Hornby made from the early 80s to shame. The coaches and Loco look as good as many RTR items on the market today. I have heard that about them, Alex. Strathclyde Orange, no. Rivarossi Berkshire was from the 50s, 60s. True Killings give the Scott 30 years. Right, change topic. What's the first colour you'll be laying down? It'll be umber. But I just want to make a point. There's a model. It is made of metal. It is a kit. It was built in the 60s. It is held together with epoxy. That's 50 years old metal, epoxy and fine. And that is the final word we will be having on this discussion. Good to know Max is waiting for myself to forget. Got to get going. Would love to watch the rest of the stream. Have a party to go to. Fair enough, Max. It has been good having you here. Do come again. Always found annoying Mazak would never take polish, but zero problems with metal models. Yeah, metal is not inherently a bad material. There we go, there's the paint I'm looking for. So yes, good night Max. Marsh Umber. I'm hoping I've got some left, because it might be out. Night guys, I'll watch the rest of the stream later. Excellent, much appreciated Max. Thank you, and remember, late 50s, early 60s, metal, epoxy, fine. Oh, this sounds like I thinned it down for airbrush use. If I have, it'll need a few coats. So yes, this is going to go into the later Brighton umber and cream livery, which most of these did not get, but some did, and I've decided I want to model a rake that did. Because why not? By the way, before I leave, nice traction engine. Thank you, Max. Very true. Very true. Yeah, IEG is better than Umber, but these carriages never got improved engine green. Okay, right. Time to run to the store Monday and get some more. Unfortunately, there is nowhere local I can get these. They will, however, be available for me to buy on the 19th and 20th of October at the Uckfield Model Railway exhibition. Good evening, Sparky. It's good to see you here. I hope you are well, and thank you for letting me get that plug for the show in just there. That was brilliant. Well, they should have done. That they looked very good in the mahogany. You know, they were bare mahogany when they came out. So, but yes, this feels like I think this. It sounds like I thinned this one down for the airbrush. So let's see. Oh yeah, definitely. Look at that. It's barely even covering it. So we're not even going to bother. We do, however, have the almost identical Pullman Umber. Which I haven't used, so there's no way I thinned this down for the airbrush. Handy, indeed it is. Very handy. It's almost like I have a large selection. I have told a few others from the UK coming just to nudge them a little. So you can see straight away, much better coverage. That is the sort of coverage we should have got from the other one if I hadn't thinned it down. Of course, if I was using the airbrush, I'd get this sort of coverage out of it. That won't be a problem in the future once we are in the recording studio, which I now have some more of the parts I need for. It is progressing. The new recording studio is slowly getting there. And we may even, in the next week, see the first cut into the soil for the building that will allow me to have, or for the foundation for the building that will allow me to have a recording studio. Oh, watching painting always takes me out. I smell the paint even now. Yes, enamel does have that certain smell about it, doesn't it? So although we're going all over with the paint at this point, it won't be all over umber when it is done. Don't think I've painted anything model wise for six or more years. We'll go and paint something then, Alex. I did try and get my hands on some more of these K's carriage kits earlier, but they went for a lot more than I could currently afford for them. They would have given me a full rake of K's carriages, which would have all been done in the umber and cream livery. Never painted a piece of rolling stock, but I've done scenery. Paint the inside also, since you'll be able to see through the windows. Paint that brush like a completed model's lack of anywhere to do it. Excuses, Alex. The inside Sparky I have coated completely black because I found that once the roofs are on these things, you can't. If you detail an interior, you really can't see it. But if it's black, it just hides everything. It gives the impression of there being an interior, but that it's too dark to actually see anything. And of course that will be even darker when you're actually looking through some windows as well, because they will deflect some of the light coming through. But I have done carriages in the past with completely kitted out interiors and you just can't see them. And it really put me off ever doing it properly again. If I remember, I will get those carriages out for next week's stream, so that everyone can see what I mean when I say I did a fully kitted out interior. And that you can't see it. I find as long as you've got the dividers between compartments, and if you paint the whole thing black, it gives almost the same effect as having it all done properly. Excuses, truth, tomato, tomato. That doesn't work well in typed form. I knew what it meant and said it though. So, enjoy. I suppose if you want to do it... Oh, no, not at all. Potatoes. I suppose if you wanted to do it in typed form, you could do TOMAYTO to emphasise the tomato. But I can't think of any other way of typing it. I'm going to have to learn to solder white metal for Snowdon Ranger. Well, it's surprisingly easy, Killian. Temperature controlled iron, low melt solder, plenty of flux. Talking of temperature controlled irons, let's turn that off, because it's just sitting there wasting electricity right now. Tomato, tomato. Yeah, no, that works, Sparky. And there we go, just like that we have a painted carriage. A few spots to touch up, but not much really. And it's little things like this carriage that we're doing in our, what I would describe as our downtime from the i3, that really remind you that despite the stresses of the i3 and the issues that we've had with it, modelling is a relaxing pastime. And I find it amazing that after all the things people say, it is a K's kit that I'm saying that about. Because wherever you go, K's kits get a bad reputation. But this is the second K's kit of the stream, and I have had no issues with it whatsoever. Or with the other one. Must be nice. I've never found it relaxing. Well, it is. So, nah. That was me sticking my tongue out at you, by the way. Right, let's have a quick look here. There's one. Oh, I can't find the other one. Oh, there it is. Pays an awful lot for the hobby at a time when there wasn't very much out there at all. Indeed they did. But that doesn't stop people saying how terrible their kits were. Now, just for you, Killian, I have 2 bits of scrap white metal here. I'm going to turn that soldering iron back on. These are the battery boxes for the bottom of that carriage. But they didn't get them until they went to the Isle of Wight, so I don't need them. I just need to find time to do the kit builds and relax. Exactly, Sparky. Like now with the EF70 in the yard, D71 sailing by on excursion. Very nice. I think they did the first kit for a 00 Terrier. They did indeed. They did indeed. So, where's my soldering block? Oh, Gary, you're a star. Not a problem, Killian. This is what this stream is for. We have 2 bits of white metal. Just putting a load of flux on. I've put so much on, I really don't need to put any on this part, but I will. So I have my soldering iron turned down as low as it can go. I've put plenty of flux in. I have here my 70-degree low melt solder from Javis. I've just dropped one of the bits of it. Oh no, it wasn't one of the bits of solder. It was the original screw from the motor. So with the iron turned down as low as it can, you can see the solder still melts very quickly because it is only 70-degree solder. So we get in there, we are quick. Not hanging around on it at all. You see, I can keep my finger this close to it because we're being quick and the iron's down low. And there we have 2 bits joined together. And just like that. So the idea is you go in there fast, low temperature, do not sit and hold the iron on the piece, low melt solder. It's really not funny to think that solder would melt in boiling water. It is, isn't it? But nothing to it. Of course, if I would to put the iron up to a higher temperature or hold it on the white metal for too long, it would melt the white metal. It does melt at low temperatures. But a temperature controlled iron, some low melt solder and some flux and you're away. Thanks very much for that. That's not a problem, Killian. That is what I'm here for. If you're a welder, be a perfect seam. I have been known to weld. I drive a very rust-prone vehicle, Sparky. So welding is an important skill to have. Little lag there, fine now. I'm glad it is fine now. After the internet problems we had last night, to have a little bit of lag now is not a problem. If the internet had been anything like it was yesterday, we wouldn't be streaming tonight. But yeah, that is all it takes to solder white metal. So we have 10 minutes left of stream. Yeah, local internet issues suck. Indeed they do. Thankfully BT are normally quite good at getting them fixed. So I say, I did last night try connecting to next door's Wi-Fi as well, and it made no difference. So it really was everything. So yes, 10 minutes to go. I've been purchasing again this week. So some future stream projects. We have here a 009 carriage, an old gem kit. They don't make these ones anymore. So I was quite lucky to pick that up. It is a brake carriage. Whoever built it for some reason used a cardboard roof and a cardboard floor. Oakfield Model Railway Exhibition. Did you know kids can go for free? Kids do. Accompanied kids go free. Up to 2 children aged 5 to 15 inclusive will be admitted free if accompanied by an adult. Unaccompanied children, £4 each. Convenient how my light blocks that bit out, isn't it? It's a great show. I will be there. So for all my UK followers, if you can make it, it would be great to see you there. I thought, yes, 009 indeed. So future stream project will be rebuilding this because it is built very, very poorly. I'm not sure what it was stuck together with, but it has, yeah, it's been stuck to cardboard basically, so it's no good. It's got, I've no idea why YouTube flag Spark is comment for me to review. I believe, Alex, with YouTube's new rules, it's probably the word kids that sparked it, because YouTube at the moment are cracking down on stuff relating to kids. So yes, it came to me in rather a state. It's got no bogies, so some Pico narrow gauge bogies will be purchased for that. It also came with over 400 miles separate me from me and Uckfield. Oh, that's a shame. YouTube are insane. Yes, they are. So it also came with a loco. Again, a gem kit, but this one is still available. Not for the price I got it for, though. This is a good point, Code Monkey. Linny is coming down from Edinburgh. So, yeah, no excuses. And I'm just normally mean guy, I swear a lot. YouTube always says what to watch me. Yeah. When I'm not streaming, indeed it is Douglas, Killian. It needs a chassis, it needs a chimney, it needs building properly because it is absolutely appalling quality. There is glue sticking out everywhere. So the chimney was there at some point, it was glued on, but that's come off. So this needs a full strip down, a clean up, and a rebuild. once I get a chassis for it. So the idea is get a chassis. Oh yeah, and look, it really needs a clean up. So the idea is to get a chassis and make my own chimney. So we will do that on stream. Just kidding, of course. A loco I knew at 2M before she became blue. Well, this one will be blue. In fact, this will probably be one of very few 009 locos I paint in its correct livery. For those that don't know, Douglas is currently wearing an RAF tribute livery. I believe it's still wearing it. And I did serve, albeit briefly, with the Royal Air Force. So once this is built properly, it will be going into that livery because it seems appropriate. Well, I'm off, everyone. Have a great evening, well, morning. Good night, Sparky. Yes, it is still just evening here. We've got 5 minutes left until it hits morning, which of course is when the stream is due to end. So yes, these are future projects for the stream. They also came with some bits of brake van. It's not the full kit. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I doubt it will get built, to be honest. I was interested in the loco. Nothing else. I'd like to point out the late great Mike Sharman was in the RAF also. Yes, he was indeed also in the RAF. Quite a long time before me though. But yes, he was. He mentioned it in a couple of interviews he did, I believe. Was he? That's cool. He was indeed. I don't know when, because I don't know how old he was. But I know it was an early on in his life thing that he was in the RAF. Yes, the cardboard roof will be going. I mean, it's almost flat. And whatever glue it was stuck on with really did seep into it. So yes, these are some future projects we have coming up that I've managed to get quite cheap this week. What I'd really like would be a carriage to go with this, because Jem did do both the brake and a regular third class carriage. So it'd be great if I could get the third class carriage to go with it, even if it's just a 2-carriage rake. Because one carriage really does not look long enough. Must be mad, just filmed another vid. You are mad, Christopher. You should be watching this and paying me your full attention. Very disgraceful. I jest, of course. During World War II, 2 of my family were in the RAF, 2 in the Royal Navy and 2 in the Army. Symmetry. Indeed, my brother was in the Army. Did a good few years service, so we've got that covered. And my stepdad was in the Navy. Served in the Falklands. So that kind of covers that. So let's pop them away. I also have... Oops, I've been in Blender all night. Disgraceful, Code Monkey. Terrible. I'm so hurt. My great uncle, who was a mason, was in the RAF. Excellent. It's a great service. I also have another one of these, which is unbuilt. So we could even build a traction engine on stream at some point, if that would interest people. Obviously it's not a very detailed traction engine, but it's a traction engine nonetheless. This kit's actually had some parts replaced from the kit. It has brass axles, which the kit does not come with as standard. So maybe you weren't liquidated. Excellent. Right. I am looking at the time. Yes, definitely a traction engine build. Fair enough. Oh, don't worry, Virtual Blender. I am just looking at the time, everyone, and it is saying to me that it is 11:59. I believe that makes it late enough for us to call the stream. You have all been absolutely fantastic as always. It has been a pleasure to sit here and model with you. And it has been great to finally get the i3 moving. We have had a great night. You lot have been awesome. Thank you very much for coming. Good night. Sleep well.